I'm Realtor Deb Tomorrow, and this is At Home in Bloomington, brought to you by Karen Rastel, Ruoff Home Mortgage. We profile the people, places, and resources that make Bloomington, Bloomington, and help you live your best life. At Home in Bloomington. Hello, and welcome to At Home in Bloomington. I'm your host, Realtor Deb Tomorrow, here as always with the lovely Miss Karen Rastel, best damn lender in the state of Indiana.
I need a desk title for that. I love that.
Oh, you need like a nameplate thing or whatever?
A nameplate, yes.
Okay, we'll work on that.
People will not get it when they come in, but it'll be, yes.
Or magical unicorn.
It'll go with my coffee mug that says world's okayest employee.
I think this time of year, we're recording this in December of 2019. I think this time of year we all kind of feel like that. Like, I'm doing okay. I'm not going to get, luckily as independent contractor, I can't get fired unless I fire myself, although I've had that conversation with myself a few times lately.
That's another show, I feel like.
Right?
A spinoff
what?
Of this one. I don't know.
Me having employment conversations with myself?
Just just your whole self-diagnosis, self-consultations. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I'll do an employee review of myself. Oh, I fear today's show. I think we're going to go off topic, but that is okay. It seems like this year, since we've started, so this is episode, I'm not even sure. It's probably like 56, 55, something, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. But we started with 37 was our first episode for this season 2. And it seems like we've done a lot of episodes about food this year. Does it seem like that to you?
Does.
Yeah.
It does.
We started off in Tillman Farm.
Yeah.
And I made the joke, I was like, we took the summer off and now we're hungry. And then we had some wine with Oliver Winery. We had some croissants with Muddy Fork Bakery. We had some pizza and other goodness with Pizza X and One World Enterprises. So it's time to get healthy.
Okay. So it's not food.
It is food.
It is food.
Kind of. Maybe
okay.
That's a part of it. Well, let me see. Okay. How do you feel about salad?
I love salad.
Right? Everybody loves salad. They should love salad. They're good, right?
I don't like a wedge salad. I'm just throwing that out there in the universe. I don't understand it. Do not put a hunk of lettuce on my plate. I like Caesar salad. I like spinach salad. I just don't want a big, huge chunk of lettuce.
Well, now we should probably do a show about that and what your hang up is with mustard and with Caesar and wedge salad.
Wedge salad. So, okay.
There's obviously some issues there. Okay. Well, I like salads except when they have E. coli, which seems to be happening a lot these days. So my question to you is today's show, multiple choice.
Okay.
Is today's show about
B? Oh, sorry.
Okay. Actually, it's funny you said that. Okay. A, getting fit and healthy.
Okay.
B, eating lettuce, which can also be part of being healthy unless you smother it in blue cheese and bacon bits, like a wedge salad. Yeah. C, the spread of bacterial diseases like E. coli. Oh, man. D, the demise of civilization when one cannot eat a Caesar salad when one wants to due to E. coli.
Gosh, that would have been me a few times last year. I'm going to go with A.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, there's more?
There's 5 choices.
What kind of test has 5 choices?
It's a holiday version.
No, you're narrowing my chances now.
E, a social business project.
It's probably E, a social business project.
I know. I probably made that too obvious, didn't I? So I was trying to set you up to win because it's the holidays and I want everyone to win.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yay, E!
Okay, E, social business project. But it kind of involves all these other things too. So I'm going to welcome Errin Logsdon, who manages a program called Growing Opportunities. And I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it is a part of South Central Community Action Program.
I feel like I have.
I think you've seen it here and there. So we're going to kind of shine the light on it today. So welcome, Errin.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit, what's your elevator speech if someone says, what do you do?
I am the program manager for Growing Opportunities. We are a social business project that offers job training for individuals with barriers to employment. We offer a 20-week course. 1 day a week, we meet in a classroom setting where we cover soft job skills. Those are job skills that we might take advantage of since we are working in the community and we know how to interact with individuals and we have jobs. So we work on skills that help you interact better in your job setting, as well as transitional skills that you need in a work environment. Mm-hmm. Then we go out and we work in our hydroponic greenhouse and we grow hydroponic lettuce right here on the east side of town. We are situated in the Stone Belt parking lot. In the greenhouse, we work on transitioning job skills, how to move from one project to the next, to work without prompting, and situations like that. Everything that we grow in the greenhouse, we then donate part of that to Hoosier Hills Food Bank. The rest of it we sell at local grocery stores, Blooming Foods, both locations, and restaurants, as well as a farmer's market.
So there you go.
That was the best elevator speech
I know,
I've
right?
ever heard. Right.
I think we just did the show.
There you go.
Thanks for tuning in. No, I want to dig a little bit deeper because I do think it's a really interesting project that people aren't aware of. I think it's got potential, in my opinion, which counts for nothing except it's just my opinion, is that it's something that needs to grow. And I want to share the story because I want people in the community who are listening to this to think about ways that they can support this program and help it grow, because there are, I think, a lot of benefits beyond just what they're doing now. They know their potential. So tell us a little bit about the history of it, how long it's been around, and where the idea came from.
The idea originally started when our previous executive director saw a program like this at one of the community action seminars. And it was Arthur and Friends in New Jersey. And they had a program like this working with individuals with special needs and helping them find jobs. And for the Arthur and Friends program, they actually provided the jobs for individuals to work at. With our program, we provide job training and then transfer them to their Stone Belt partners, and then they help them find jobs in the community. It started around 6 years ago. It took a while to get the project off the ground. Todd Blair was just pushed nonstop to get this program growing, so we're incredibly grateful for the work that he did with that. It started... Our original concept was that we could do job training, and then we would go out, we would find jobs in the community. And once the program was started, then it was realized that wasn't really feasible. This was before I came along, so this is all from the previous manager. Now we work on all the job training skills. And then some of our clients have jobs in the community. And then whenever they come back into the greenhouse, we work on skills that they need to work on. We get feedback from their employers.
Oh, cool.
And then we're able to directly address those individual skills.
Do you do like an assessment for someone that wants to take the course? Because what if they're not sure what jobs that they might be interested in doing? Like, how do you do the training?
Enroll?
Yeah, like, is it specific training on like, let's just say cashier or something like that, or food prep or something.
Is there a job that's the ultimate goal, or do you sort of have this list of
just general
skill sets?
Training?
We do general skill set training.
Okay.
So we work on workplace conduct. We work on how to deal with workplace conflict.
Okay.
Basic working skills, and then about halfway through the class, we do a assessment where they go through and they identify what they're looking for in a job. And then at that point, we will start to move them into positions in the greenhouse that would benefit that.
Gotcha.
And so right now you're working primarily with Stone Belt clients.
Correct.
And what kind of disabilities do they have?
A wide variety. We have everything from mental to physical disabilities.
Okay.
There's no limit. We are one of the few programs that we don't have any prerequisites to join our program. There's no qualifications. There's the only thing that they have to be able to do is pass a background check. And we do that for the safety of our Stone Belt friends, as well as because we have the Head Start program, and we use the greenhouse as a field trip destination for multiple other programs as well in Bloomington.
So I think that's great. And that why I kind of asked that question is because pretty much anyone who is a client of Stone Belt can get involved in this program if they'd like to.
Actually, the program is open to anyone.
So not just Stone Belt clients.
It's not just Stone Belt clients. It's open to absolutely anyone. We've had individuals from the community join our program, as well as Life Designs and the Stone Belt clients.
Okay, awesome. And so you've got the 20-week course, and the 20-week course is both classroom and greenhouse training.
Correct.
And what are the kinds of things that they're doing in the greenhouse?
Everything.
Okay.
And that's the great part about our program is they literally grow our lettuce from start to finish. So We have a gentleman named Rob. He's absolutely amazing, and I would be completely lost without him.
Yeah.
He handles all of our planting. He plants all of the seeds. He gets everything ready for germination, gets it in our nursery. We then, the individuals in the program, transplant everything into the channels. We're an NFT hydroponic system.
Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about more of the details of the hydroponics in the second half. I want to talk about the first half.
So they transplant everything into the channels. They then help us monitor for nutrient deficiencies. They help monitor for pests. They have a ledger where they keep track of our system diagnosis so that we know exactly where we're at with our nutrients, with our pH. They do all the inventory for the greenhouse, as well as then when it's time to harvest, they harvest in the greenhouse. And then we have individuals actually go to farmers market with us, and we work on interactions there, cash handling, greeting customers, and making conversation.
And you mentioned Rob. I think he's one of your success stories. I saw him at the greenhouse. So can you share a little bit about his success story, or kind of where because he's graduated from the program, but he's still there. And I do want to point out too that Errin confessed to me that she had a contest with Rob about planting seeds, and I believe he kicked her butt.
He did. He completely, we take off for the week from now until February.
Okay.
The clients don't come into the greenhouse unless we're having great weather. If it's warmer, then they come out to the greenhouse, but it's cold. Even though we heat the greenhouse, it's still cold, and we do get wet in the greenhouse because it's hydroponics. So we don't want to run that risk of having them out there. And I actually will be taking seeds inside so Rob can plant them because he's so fabulous at it. Rob came to our program, and he went through the Growing Opportunities program. And then he received job placement with the the Bloomington Police Department. And he works there, and then he makes sure that he has Tuesdays and Thursdays off so that he can come back to the greenhouse and work in the greenhouse. So it's really beneficial because we are allowed to continue that relationship. One of the things with our program is it's not just gaining the job skills, it's the therapy that goes along with growing things.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And seeing that success and
or just
feeling that
you
success.
have also that, like, your contribution is helping something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where we do a lot, as I said, of donations with Hoosier Hills Food Bank. Mm-hmm. And we actually, at times, will take clients with us to the food bank to help bag up produce. A couple of years ago, we took one of our clients, and she was absolutely thrilled because a lot of times we're required to think outside of the box. So the individual that we took with us, she's blind, and she never thought that she would be able to just go out in the community, volunteer, and give back to other people. Yeah. That we give them a sense of self, and that they do have things to offer back to our community.
Yeah.
So we tend to marginalize quite a bit in our society.
Yeah, for sure. And I know that's one thing, especially, again, we're recording this in December. So, we're all sort of thinking, I think, a little bit bigger than ourselves. And one of the things, this is completely off topic, but one of the things I heard somebody say a couple weeks ago was donate words. So if you don't have money to donate, you can always donate kind words. I like that. And I was like, oh, I need a sticker. This has that or something, but because there's always a way to sort of make a difference. Let's take a quick step back and talk about South Central Community Action Program, because I know that's a resource out in the community that a lot of people may not be aware of. So what's their mission?
Our mission at South Central Community Action Program is to help individuals reach the best of their potential. So to help individuals any way that we can. In the society that we live in, a lot of time it's really hard when you're having trouble or you need help to navigate the resources that are available or even to get there. Mm-hmm. We live in an 8-to-5 society, and if you want to be successful, you have to have a job. If you need help, the resources that are available to you are only open 8 to 5, so you have a choice to make. Mm-hmm. So South Central Community Action Program, our goal is to help individuals to the best of our abilities. We run the Section 8 program, Driving Connections, Covering Kids and Family, Head Start, Winterization Program, as well as the Energy Assistance Program, Growing Opportunities, and I'm sure there's probably something in there that I have forgotten.
Yeah.
There used to be a long time ago, and I don't know how someone reached out to me. There was from there where it was called Circles, and I don't know if they still have that.
I think that's that part of
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay, where they had they'd come out to me to the bank where I was working at the time and asked if I would possibly talk about credit and why, what is credit? How do you establish it? How do you fix it?
Yep.
How do you not let it go bad? Because they were finding it was hard. And I find this in my everyday world too, that people don't take the time to kind of discuss that with people. And it's such an abstract thing. I didn't know if they were still doing that, but yeah, I would go and do that. And it was always packed.
Yeah.
And
I think Thriving Connections has maybe morphed a little bit into a mentor kind of program.
Correct.
So they sort of pair people in the community who want to kind of get to that, whatever their dream is.
Sure.
You know, that next step towards their dream, and they pair them with members of the community who can mentor them and help them and hold them accountable and help them provide resources. So that's an amazing program too. But even like the weatherization, winterization programs, if you're struggling with your utility bills and you meet some income guidelines, there's help there too. So it's really a phenomenal and huge agency, kind of tucked away that people don't necessarily hear about. You guys don't do a ton of big fundraisers and things like that. I think most of your funding is federal and grants and things.
Most of it's grants. We did recently do Krista Dior did a fundraiser for us last weekend, so that was really nice and was a great experience with her. Yeah.
So check them out. And then Growing Opportunities, you can also find, you got a Facebook page, right?
We do have a Facebook page. That's where most of our information comes from.
Awesome.
We're going to try to get an Instagram account started.
Good luck. I'm too old for Instagram.
Right. See, that's what I say. And so we were really blessed at this summer, and we're able to hire a part-time employee for the first time for Growing Opportunities. And that is one of the things that she's going to be doing. Bridget is amazing, and she's going to be working on our Instagram because I have Instagram, but
I opened it last night and my mom had commented on some things. I was like, oh no. Now my life is such that, and hi Mom, because now she's like, I listened to your show. I'm like, that's awesome. Thanks. But then she's commenting on Instagram and it always cracks me up because I'm like, I think my mother's better at Instagram than I am now.
Oh, my mom is the same way. She's like Twittering nonstop. And
I think I've been
Instagram.
Facebook friends with your mom.
You probably are.
Yeah. Yep. I've seen it. Yep. All right. Let's take a break. We come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about the science of the hydroponics because that's really interesting, and we'll get into E. coli.
Nice. I cannot wait.
That is our client's favorite class.
Right?
We actually do a class on
E. coli?
food safety.
Oh, yeah.
And they are so stoked about talking about E. coli. And they'll always be like, we're going to talk about E. coli today?
Right?
And I'm
my
like, no,
gosh,
we already talked about E. coli this session.
There's your teaser. There's your teaser for part 2. So stick around. You are at home in Bloomington.
Hi, this is Karen Rastel with Ruoff Home Mortgage. Did you know there are low or no down payment options available? If you're interested in buying a home but not sure about your options, contact me today at 812-606-7653. Together, we'll make your dreams of home ownership come true. Ruoff Home Mortgage is an Indiana corporation licensed by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions. This is not an offer for extension of credit or a commitment to lend. All loans must satisfy company underwriting guidelines, equal housing lender, NMLS number 141868.
This is your Real Estate Realist. Practical advice on buying and selling real estate based on my experience closing over 800 home sales. Are you interested in being a realtor? I know HGTV makes it look like negotiating deals over martinis and sushi is the norm. That may not be completely or even close to reality, at least in Bloomington, but it is a cool career and a one bit shrouded in mystery. So here are some things you should know if you're considering the real estate path. Number 1, there are different structures for brokerages, but in all cases, you're an independent contractor. You run your own business, you keep your own records, you pay your own taxes, you pay for your office space, you determine your own marketing budget, on and on. Number 2, it's strictly commission-based. No sales, no paycheck. Number 3, there are no sick days, vacation days, paid holidays, or benefits. That means no health insurance or 401k too. But number 4, of course, it is the ultimate job security. I mean, I'll never fire myself since I technically work for myself. I think I'm a pretty good employee. There are certain freedoms that balance the stress of the job. Number 5, like most small businesses, it is hard to take downtime. Weekends and evenings are when most people want to look at homes, and real estate can provide great flexibility with your schedule, but can also be murder on your weekends. And number 6, you get to build your own business. Even as a part of a large brokerage, you aren't handed sellers and buyers. You may be given leads, but you have to convert those leads to buyers and sellers. You'll probably go 3 to 6 months without getting paid when you start out as you are building your business. For more information on being a realtor, hit me up. I'd be happy to chat with you. You can listen to my Real Estate podcast, number 79. You can find that on iTunes, my YouTube channel, and at www.athomeinbloomington.com.
My name is John Lee. Deb Tomorrow is my realtor. She has helped my wife and I sell 2 homes and purchase another. She's a smart, outside-the-box thinker and truly cares about her clients. Deb makes the complex world of buying and selling homes seem easy, which is a testament to her knowledge and skill. Long story short, Deb should be your realtor too. And now, back to the show.
Welcome back to At Home in Bloomington. Before we get back to our guest, Errin Logsdon, Program Manager of Growing Opportunities, I do want to take this opportunity to make a connection. I always say we throw back, but we're also making connections, which I love. I always love, and almost every episode that we are doing now of At Home in Bloomington is connected to a past guest. Right. Of At Home in Bloomington, and I love that. So this one we are throwing back to episode 18, which was when we had Gold Leaf Hydroponics on.
That's
Kyle.
perfect.
Right, and
perfect connection.
And Gold Leaf is a huge supporter of Growing Opportunities and helps you guys out. So we'll talk a little bit about that when we're talking about the hydroponics. But I also wanted to make sure everyone knows that they moved to Empire Mill Road. They're now at the corner of like Old 37 and 37. So it's south side. Like if you're coming to my house, it's right there on the corner. So they've moved to a bigger space.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm happy for them. But they've been a huge help to growing opportunities. If you want to try hydroponics or other growing things, then they are the place to go here in town. So awesome. All right, so let's talk about. I feel bad because I toured the greenhouse the other day, and Errin was talking about all these hydroponics things. And I'm like, I should know this. Like, did we talk about this when we did the Gold Leaf episode?
Well, if what we talked about off mic or whatever, during break, I would say no. I think Kyle did a more of a high touch,
level.
Type of.
Let's talk about, and I don't know if you can answer this question. We'll start with this one. Why hydroponics as opposed to just, having a greenhouse and growing in dirt, or having a community garden where people are growing lettuce?
There's a couple different reasons. I cannot tell you the original reason. I can tell you my really good reasons.
Okay.
With hydroponics, we are able to control the nutrient density of the plants. We can control the exact nutrients that we're putting into the water, so we know what nutrients and the concentration that they're pulling them up at. Mm-hmm. In hydroponics, we can grow things really close together. So we are in a very small space on the back of the Stonebelt parking lot between Stonebelt and IU Surplus, and we grow 4,000 heads of lettuce a month in that small space. Right. It's amazing.
4,000.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Aside from the nutrient density as well as the space, we use 90% less water than traditional farming. A head of lettuce generally takes around 25 gallons to grow one head of lettuce. We're able to grow 4,000 heads of lettuce a month with 150 gallons of water. So There's a lot of water conservation there. The hydroponic system allows us to monitor our plants more closely. I'm not going to say that people who grow hydroponically have never had an E. coli outbreak. Mm-hmm. However, we're not using traditional fertilizers that you use outdoors. Mm-hmm. So there's the chance of contracting E. coli is so much lower. In our greenhouse, we monitor all Food and Safety Modernization Acts. So all of our clients, I mentioned that we do their E. coli is their favorite session. And that's because all of our clients go through Food Safety Modernization Act training.
I think this is really, really cool. When you walk into the greenhouse, the first thing I saw was a table with boxes of gloves.
Yes.
And I don't think you would normally see that in a gardening or farming kind of environment. And so what Erin's saying is that they follow the same food handling standards that any restaurant would, or any store, grocery store, or anything like that would, from day one.
Yes. So when they come in, the first thing they do is wash their hands. We have a mat that you actually walk across. Most people don't notice it, but there's a mat that you walk across, and it is treated in the mornings with a Sanidate. And it sanitizes your shoes. One of the things that we got to thinking about is we have individuals who come in the greenhouse who are on wheelchairs and use walkers. Our shoes, they go everywhere with us. So whenever you're walking along the sidewalk, we have no clue what's on the sidewalk. So now whenever you walk into the greenhouse, you automatically walk through a sanitation mat. So even your shoes, the wheels on their chairs and everything are sanitized. They wash their hands, and we put gloves on. We don't touch any of the plants without having gloves on, just because we don't know what bacteria we might be carrying. We have strict protocol regarding illnesses as to who's allowed in the greenhouse. We also monitor who's in the greenhouse at every time. We have a lot number system, so we keep track of the lot numbers, and we keep track of who touched that plant during that time, as well as all the cycles that it goes through. Anything we do with those plants, we keep track of them. And that allows us to have a solid recall system if anything ever were to happen. Our bags of lettuce are all marked with the harvest date as well as the lot number on there, so that we can easily recall anything that should we ever have any issues.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's talk a little bit more about the water, because I was interested in that, that you use such small amounts of water, but not just that, but you reuse the water.
Correct. So everything in our system, we have gutter systems that run underneath. So it's a hydroponic system. We have drips, and we don't want to waste any water. So we have gutter systems underneath that recycle all of the water that leaves the channels and then pumps it back into our system. Once a month, we drain half of our system. That water either goes into gallon jugs that we then take to SCAP or other individuals who want to use it on the indoor plants. It still has nutrients in it. However, in order to make sure that our plants are as nutrient rich as we can, we go ahead and we change that out so we know exactly what is in our water. So the water that comes out either goes to individuals or to our main office to water our indoor plants. And then during the summer, it all goes to a rain garden that we have over to the side in front of the greenhouse, where we grow additional produce for the clients to use in the Stone Belt cooking class.
That is awesome.
Isn't that cool? And one of the questions I asked was, because so little water is used, Errin was telling me that a lot of the hydroponic technology has been developed in the Middle East and in drought-prone places.
Yeah, there's been huge leaps and bounds in hydroponic techniques and technology over the last 20 years. If you look back even 10 years ago, you hardly ever saw individuals doing hydroponics. And now we have systems set up. We personally have systems set up with other schools and individuals so that they have their own hydroponic system.
And then you also say that you add nutrients to the water, and then obviously that gets into the plants. And I was really interested by that, because you were saying that that your lettuce tends to be more nutritious.
Correct. So in traditional farming, I'm a huge fan of traditional farming. I'm a 7th generation Indiana farmer. So we have everything in our family from organic farming to commodity farming. We do it all. And the main draw of hydroponics is if we use our resources well, then we can grow the things that we need to grow traditionally. Lettuce, hardly anyone grows lettuce in large quantities in the Midwest in traditional farming. Almost everything that we eat comes from other areas,
California,
either California,
South America, probably.
South America comes from a lot from there. So if we use our resources, we can keep our food local, but we are able to control. We have what's called a fertoler, and it controls the amount of nutrients that go into the water. Then in traditional farming, I normally use my hands, so this is really difficult for me. In traditional farming, whenever the roots spread out, they're fighting with each other and with weeds. So whatever they get from the ground, that's what they get. That's why we fertilize. In hydroponics, we're adding those nutrients directly to the water in a non-combative
Nobody's fighting.
Right. Nobody's fighting for nutrients.
They can get as much as they want.
They can get as much as they want. The plants grow faster. We have a much larger turnaround rate. From start to finish, our plants are ready in 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
If you use supplemental lighting, you can have your plants ready a lot quicker. One of our big goals is to keep our carbon footprint as small as possible. So we do not use any lighting. We just go all natural lights. So in the winter, our growth does slow down. But
what's the difference between summer and winter in terms of your growth? Because it's cooler, obviously, in the winter as well. When I was in the greenhouse, it was about 55 degrees.
Correct. In the summer, 4 to 5 weeks from start to finish.
Okay.
In the
6 to
winter,
8.
it's about 6 to 8.
One of the things I found that was really interesting too, I'm just like listing all these fun facts, was that it's expensive to heat the greenhouse. It's how big is the greenhouse? Do you know how many square feet it is or what size it is?
I should know this off the top of my head. It is around 145 by 35.
Okay.
60 square feet.
It's big. It's big. And it's, you have like a propane furnace.
We have a propane furnace. I've been in this position for 3 years. When I first came on, we were using propane, and they were keeping the temperature inside the greenhouse around 70 degrees, and we were going through a tank of propane every 2 weeks. Having a background in traditional farming, I know that it's not the air temperature, it's the ground temperature. So I went to our executive director, Frank Peacock, who is absolutely amazing about letting me do whatever talk idea.
He's like, sounds good, Errin. I have no idea.
Like, I come to him and I'm like, hey, I want to try this. And he's amazing. I mean, Scap is so supportive. Yeah. And so we invested in large aquarium heaters and dropped large titanium aquarium heaters into our reservoir and raised our water temperature up to 65 degrees. We then lowered the interior temperature from 70 down to 55, and it'll actually drop it down to 50 as it gets colder, because all we have to do is keep frost off the plants. Yeah. And with our stone belt plants not in there, then we drop the temperature lower. And because the water temperature is higher, we're able to still grow at the same rate because we simply switched it. And now we go through a tank of gas every 2.5 months.
Isn't that crazy?
I
love that idea.
I know it's huge. I was saying during the break too, I'm like, I never come up with these like great ideas, but I always want to help, help whoever does have those ideas.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. I love that. Cause I know I was Tuesday, a couple days ago, I was going to visit the greenhouse, and I thought, I'm going to go in here. It's going to be warm, because we just had snow. And I walked in, I'm like, and it's not that warm.
It's not that warm.
I was shocked.
Not that warm. And in the summer, it is miserable. In the summer, we change our hours. So there's some confusion during the summertime because we change our hours, and I come in at 4 a.m. because it can get up to 120 degrees in the greenhouse, because all we have is essentially a large swamp cooler in the back. And that basically, it runs water through it. The air from outside blows through it, and it cools it. Well, that works great. But in Indiana, we really don't need additional humidity.
Yeah.
So it cools it by putting moisture into the air. So we use a lot of fans, and we get up really early in the morning.
Oh my gosh! But the 120 degrees, again, it doesn't impact the
as long as
plants.
we keep the airflow moving. Thanks to our friend Kyle at Gold Leaf, he suggested we get some large livestock fans, and it improved drastically.
Interesting. So it's always a work in progress, always kind of tweaking to make things better.
It is. It's just like, it really is so similar to traditional farming. It's trying to figure out what works and not being afraid to take risks.
I love that. So let's revisit where people can get your product, because I want to make sure that, so you are at the Eastside Farmers Market.
Yes, we're at the Eastside Farmers Market every other weekend. So we'll be there this weekend. Okay. And then every other weekend, we are at the Eastside Farmers Market. Our produce is also available at both Blooming Food locations. Okay. And it's available for pickup at the greenhouse.
Oh, nice. What are some costs? Like, how do you buy it?
$3 a head. So all of our heads weigh at least 5.5 ounces. Okay. They come with a root cube attached. Through diligent research, we've realized that if we keep our root cube attached to the plants and it stays damp, the varieties that we grow and how we package them, we are able to keep our lettuce good for up to 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
which anybody who's ever bought a bag of lettuce and you get, like, I open it and that already, because yes, I still sometimes forget to take lettuce home. I have to buy lettuce. And you open it and you already have like some weird slime that you have to sort through.
Yeah. Interesting. So if you keep that root ball attached.
Keep the root ball attached and just keep it covered and you just peel off what you want and it'll stay good for up to 2.5 weeks.
Interesting.
So at least 5.5 ounces and it's $3 for that. Most of the time they're larger than that. We just have a set price.
Okay. And do you distribute to any restaurants or anything like that?
We used to. Currently, we do not, and that is because we are maxed out between our farmers market sales, our Blooming Food sales, and then during the summer, we donate everything to Hoosier Hills Food Banks, and then during the winter, they have a grant, and so they purchase lettuce from us at a discount price. So,
and it's not because you require them to purchase it. You would still donate it if you could.
We would still donate it, but they have a grant to use so that they're able.
So it sort of is passing the grant along to you, which is great.
It is. Well, that's one of the great things about a lot of the not-for-profits here in Bloomington is we all help each other and we all work together to do what's best for the community.
And one of the things, I'm not sure if it was with Hoosier Hills or you do some nutrition programs, we were talking about how you feel like you need to communicate that eating healthier isn't necessarily more expensive.
Right. We do nutrition programs. We do them mostly with our Head Start groups with the parents. We also do nutrition programs in the greenhouse, so individuals can actually see how the lettuce is grown. One of the big misconceptions that we have in society nowadays is that it's more expensive to buy junk food. And it is simply a huge misconception. However, it goes back to how our society is set up. In order to fix cheaper, healthier meals, you have to have the time to fix them, to fix them from scratch, to not use prepackaged and
drive-through kind of thing.
And that's a skill that's been lost. A lot of individuals don't have the knowledge on how to cook. What shortcuts can you take? What can you do to substitute this? So through our nutrition workshops, what we direct at is how can you take healthy food and incorporate it in what you're already eating?
Sure.
You might not have time to fix hamburger help from scratch. A box might be the option. So let's chop up some spinach. Chop up how can you use vegetables to supplement it. And then everybody wants to say that you have to eat organic. We are all natural in the greenhouse. We can't say that we're organic because in order to be organic, you have to replenish the soil. And since we use water, we don't qualify for that. So we are all natural. And it is what is best for you. However, that can of vegetables is just as good. Yeah. Just because you can't afford organic doesn't mean you shouldn't eat it.
So if you're like fresh green beans, canned green beans, Doritos.
Right. So it's overcoming some misconceptions that we have. My family, everything they eat, like they know that there is chopped up dark greens hidden in there. It doesn't matter what it is. If you use ground beef, chop up those dark greens. Chop up that kale really fine. Your kids can't see it because it's ground beef anyways.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
It is.
Put that in a taco or something?
Put it in a taco. My kid's favorite is actually spinach and chicken enchiladas.
Oh, okay.
And it tastes amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. So you mentioned that you used to sell to restaurants and you're sort of tapped out on capacity. So that brings us to the big need. And one of the questions I always like to ask people is, where do you want to go? Where do you see things? So what is that? How do you increase your production? Do you want to increase your production?
We definitely do. We need an acre of land to put up at least 2 greenhouses. One of our greenhouses takes up around 1/4 of an acre. If we had an acre, we would be able to put up multiple greenhouses as well as have an outdoor growing program. Our need right now is, where can we put that? We are ready. If we had 3 greenhouses that we could have up and going tomorrow, as soon as they were in production, we would be sold out again. The partnerships that we have in the community are amazing. It's finding that land where we can put the greenhouse. It doesn't have to be donated. We can rent, lease, purchase as an option. It's simply finding an acre. Doesn't have to be in Monroe County. It can be in surrounding counties that would allow us as to be cleared. There can't be a lot of trees because we're all natural, so we need a lot of sunlight. And once we have that, we get the greenhouses up. Then we would move into a work reentry program for nonviolent felons. As I expressed to you, whenever we were in the greenhouse, one of the big misconceptions is not just individuals who are re-entering the workforce not having job skills. It's that their humanity is taken away. They don't even get to decide when they're going to brush their teeth, when they're going to do anything. And having a safe space to work on job skills as well as reacclimating to society is really needed, especially in our community here.
Being able to direct yourself.
Correct.
And that goes for the nonviolent offender clients, but also one of the things I had noticed with the people working in the greenhouse the other day was keeping busy. And I think that's, if you're an employer, we hear that a lot too, that you're like, one of the things I learned when I worked in the restaurant business, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean, but trying to keep people busy and see what needs to happen next. And I know you work on that with everyone.
We do. We actually have a special classroom session called downtime, and we cover what do you do in downtime? How do you be a productive employee?
That's awesome. So you need an acre of land. If anyone out there knows of any space, or a little bit more, you'd be happy to take more.
We'd definitely be happy to take more.
Yeah.
There's no limit.
Yeah. And it could be for lease, for sale, for donate. So I would love to see this program grow. So hopefully people can kind of spread the word about that. Are there volunteer opportunities for people just kind of off the street?
There are volunteer opportunities. Most of our volunteer time is during the workday.
Okay.
We do have volunteer time on Saturdays and Sundays. As the previous sole employee of the program, one of the problems we have when finding volunteers is the greenhouse is hard work. It's a lot of hard work. Our channels weigh between 75 to 150 pounds when they're full of lettuce. It's hot. It's cold. It's the most rewarding thing that you can ever
glamorous.
do. But it's not glamorous. It is not glamorous. You're hot, you're sweaty, you're cold, you're wet. But it's finding people who can look beyond that into what we're doing, to the empowerment of what we provide our clients.
Yeah. And just to think about, I just keep thinking, if this program grows, how many people it could positively impact. I mean, not just the lettuce that, the healthy lettuce that it provides, but just the people that it impacts. And one of the things we hear over and over again from employers is how much they need help. They need good help that, has some of these basic skills. So,
and that, a lot of times we don't think about still about clients when you're looking at hire employees. But when we look at how their abilities enhance them as workers. Rob is amazing at planting seeds because he has a single-minded focus, and that is all that he focuses on. And you mentioned we had the competition. I had myself and another Stone Belt employee, and one of the DSPs there tried to see which one of us could do it faster, and Rob beat both of us hands down. Because of his attention to detail and just his single-minded focus. And so we tend, as a society...
In your head, you're going, I got to do this tonight, and I got to do
that. As a society, we tend to marginalize and measure people by their deficiencies instead of looking at what benefit they can bring to a work environment. And they have so much potential, and there's so much potential for the way they better environments. And
it's positive. I mean, that was what I noticed from Rob he was very diligent. He was constantly moving the whole time I was there, but he always had a smile on his face too. He was happy to be there. He wasn't, all this other noise wasn't affecting him. And I think that in turn ends up making us more grateful. So it's awesome. So please check out Growing Opportunities. Check out their Facebook page, I think, and then Instagram as well. We're going to challenge myself, right? Thank you, Errin, so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and good luck to you, and hopefully we'll see some growth.
All right. Thank you guys very much for this opportunity.
All right. And we will be back with another episode. You are at home in Bloomington.
Got a show idea? I'd love to hear it. And be sure to contact me for all your real estate needs and questions, too. You can email me at deb@realrealestatetoday.com and follow me on Facebook at Deb Tomorrow Realtor. To contact Karen Rastel for all your mortgage needs, call 812-606-7653 or log on to ruoff.com and go to the Bloomington Center. Thanks to all the Bloomington people who make production of At Home in Bloomington possible. Digital guru Cynthia Hogan at Monster Digital Marketing for website design and hosting, and video genius Wes Lasher in the production house for engineering the show.